Hey, what's up everybody? We are going to be working on a union today that requires us to paint different sections of the union, different colors. It's going to be one of our Trump unions, and the stars and most of the wording is going to be white. The other part of the union where it says "Keep America Great" will be red. And the way I do this is use the Oramask method. Oramask is something you can get off of Amazon. I think I get 20 feet of it for, I can't remember, I think it's 15 bucks, maybe a little bit less or more, I'm not sure. I'll post the link in the description of this video. But anyway, we're going to put that on the union after I torch and stain the union. We're going to put the Oramask on top of it. We'll carve through it, and then we'll go to paint. And I'm going to show you the method that I do to get the result. I'll show you the results at the end of the video. This is actually only my second union that I've done where I've had to paint the stars and paint the logo. Did the first one last night to see how it worked. Came out great. And I got a lot of questions about it, so I decided to do a video. So we're going to get this premium pine right here. We're going to turn this into the Trump logo. This is normally how the Trump, that's normally how it looks right there. But on this one, we're going to paint all the stars white. This will be white right here, and this will be red right here. Hopefully you can see it. But that'll be red right here. In order to do that, we got to do some steps before we carve in order to make it easier. There's other methods to do this, but this is going to another flag maker, and I'm not sure how he's finishing it, so I didn't want to put a bunch of finish on the union and then put more finish down in the carve and then do the dab paint in and wipe away method. That works well too, but because this is going to somebody else, I'm just going to do paint and not put any finish on it at all. Anyway, so let's get started. I'll get to the point where I'm torched and stained and ready to put the Oramask on. I'll video putting the Oramask on, and we'll go from there. All right, we got Josh here to help us. He's going to be doing the sanding of the union. We're going to start with 120 grit. We're going to work our way up to about 220 and get this thing nice and smooth and flat. That helps with the Oramask. If you can, before you put any stain on the wood, just because we're trying to remove all of the sanding dust off of the board so that the Oramask adheres to the board really well. If you're not going to torch it, you got to wipe it down with some mineral spirits or something like that. We're going to torch it, so that should get rid of all the dust sitting on the top layer. And anyway, so we're going to do this in fast motion. Just wanted to introduce my helper today, Josh. And he's all dapped up in his safety equipment. He's got his safety glasses on. He's got his dust mask on, which he said stinks. Feel bad for him. And we'll get to sanding.
I feel like there was a glove shaking.
Yeah.
Why it was going.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, because it was shaking at the same time.
Yep.
It was bad.
You ready to do some more?
Sure.
All right, let's go. All right, so we got them all stained up. We got them torched up and stained up. Now all it is just a waiting game for it to completely dry, and we'll go ahead and put the Oramask on there. And obviously, I mean, it goes without saying, key thing is waiting for it to dry. I mean, you would think that's pretty much common sense, but raise your hand if you put it on too early and it's peeled up the stain when you've pulled the Oramask off. You can't see me, but I'm raising my hand. So wait for it to completely dry, giving it another, it's water-based stain, so it's only going to take about 20 to 30 minutes to dry anyway. So give it the time it needs to dry, and then, you don't have to worry about your stain coming up with the Oramask. Alright, so this thing's nice and dry. We got our Oramask right here, and first thing I do is measure out how much I'm going to need. We don't want to use a bunch extra over the side because we're not spray painting, so it's going to be pretty controlled. If I'm spray painting, normally I want to cover the sides and the top, but since we're going to be doing a different method, it's not really that big a deal. So close to the edge as I can get. All right, get that out of the way. All right, so now try to clean off the board as much as you can. Then we're going to take this and I peel up part of it. Don't take it all the way off yet. And we just kind of line it up so that it's even, that it's going straight. Try to make it so there's not any big air, not air bubbles, but big ridges in it. So if you're putting it on straight, shouldn't have too many ridges in it. It should be pretty flat. Now, what I do, I can go grab it real quick. I grab one of these right here. Just a little cheap, I don't know what they call it, but it's what you use for like when you're putting vinyl on stuff and you're wanting to press it down. I just take this. It's nice and smooth, so you can give it some pressure and just kind of push it down all the way across. Kind of work out any air bubbles if you can. And then you have a nice, if you're applying pressure to it, it's going to adhere better. And when we're cutting through it, we need it to adhere pretty good. All right, so now what I do, my 0 point is always the bottom left corner of my workpiece. So I want to cut that corner clean just so that it's easier for me to zero it in. So what I do is I cut that part off. And then this part, which there's not a ton on this part, so right there. We got a little bit hanging over right there. There we go. All right, so now I know I got that corner clean so I can zero to it and not have to worry about it. I could tuck this under there, but I don't like tucking anything under the board because I don't want it to raise up on me. Hopefully I'm still in the shot with this. So I'll just trim any excess that I don't need off, just to kind of give it, a little bit of excess is fine. I just don't want so much that it would get tucked underneath the board when I'm putting it on my CNC machine and then raise it up slightly, making the board uneven. All right, so we have that on there. Next step, we'll load it into the CNC machine, get the CNC machine ready, and we'll show you that, and I'll do a quick video of it cutting through. This size for the cut we're doing, it's the, like I said, it's the Trump Union. The stars take about 15 minutes, and the logo itself takes about 45 minutes. So anyway, so let's get it loaded onto the CNC machine. All right, so we got the 60-degree V-bit in there. One thing to mention when we are using Oramask is that V-bits cut through Oramask a lot better and a lot cleaner. I've used downcut end mill bits and they didn't work very well, so I only use the V-bits now when I'm cutting through Oramask. All right, so we got this thing on there square. We got the V-bit in there, so let's go ahead and zero it out, get it to the bottom left-hand corner. Alright, now when I get close, I kind of like to lower my step size. And just kind of slowly work it down. Alright. Make sure I'm right on the corner. It looks good. And that looks good. So let's lower it down. And let's make sure we are right on the edge. Pretty damn close. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and we'll reset 0. Alright, now let's raise it up. So we're going to set the depth. Now it may be hard for you to see from this far away, but this is what we're cutting out. So what I like to do is the more detailed areas, which is going to be the Keep America Great, I want to take the bit to that area to set the depth, because I want it to be exact when it gets to that point. Alright, so we are pretty close to where that's at. I take a piece of paper, put it underneath. I've shown it in videos before, so I'm not going to go into big detail. We're going to lower it down till it just catches the paper. And right there. Alright, so we're going to raise it back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, now let's get back to our Z point. And lower it down. And then reset 0. Get your hearing equipment on. This is going to be loud, so if you're wearing headphones, unplug them. For your listening pleasure, we have muted the sound, so headphone wearers continue watching in peace. But if you're asking, is this guy really going to make us sit through another sped up video of his CNC machine doing all the work? The answer is yes. Just kidding. Carry on. Alright, so because my CNC machine was going, I'm going to be doing a voiceover for this part of the video. So I got everything carved out. Everything's nice and clean somewhat. Kind of push down around the edges that you can. If you see anything, you shouldn't really see anything pop up because the Oramask should be pretty sealed. But one thing I like to do is take one of these type of brushes right here and just kind of run it over the carved areas if there's any fuzzies or anything like that. This one didn't really need it. The V-bits are really good at not making fuzzy, especially a sharp V-bit, which my white sides, I think I used a 90 for the stars and a 60 for the logo, the wording part. But anyway, so what I do is I take a stenciling brush like that, which I'm going to mention later in the video is very important for these. It gets down into the parts a lot better. But anyway, I load my brush, or I guess it's called loading your brush. Get some paint on it, and then I kind of wipe off the excess because I don't want it too thick. Even though it's sealed, it can leak underneath a little bit, so I kind of want to preload it a little bit and not dilute it, but get a lot of the excess off. I know this is kind of crappy camera angles, but it was nighttime, and my shop is real dark at night, so I had to go where the light was. But anyway, you want to just kind of work the paint, dab the paint into the corners, work nice and easy. Don't push too hard against the Oramask, and just kind of work your way around all the lettering. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what you do at this point. One thing I do like to do, though, is after I've painted an area, I kind of want to brush it to get it to get the brush strokes nice and even and pretty looking. Anyway, so you pretty much do this through the whole entire part. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the rest of it because it's pretty much the same thing regardless of whether you're doing the stars or whether you're doing like the red part of Keep America Great. This should keep anything from bleeding under it, but like I said, take it easy on the paint. Don't make it so thick, and don't push up on the Oramask at all. You just kind of want to dab, especially at the corners of everything. Just dab it in there and get it nice and even. Just kidding. I'm not going anywhere. I did want to break in here and kind of show you how to do the stars. The way I do it's pretty much similar to the lettering, but I'll get preload it and I kind of work it around the middle right there, and then I push outwards. Back. Don't go down. I just kind of push it out, and I get it pretty good within a couple strokes on each corner, and it's nice and covered. But the majority of it, I want to. So that's why I always do it in the middle first, because I want to get all the X's down the middle and then kind of push it out. You want to be careful in these sections. It's close to a different color. You don't want to push it out too close to there because you can risk getting the white into where the red's going to be. So you want to be really careful at that point right now, what I'm pointing at. Alright, so we got everything painted in. One thing that in the voiceover I didn't mention, these little stencil brushes are key to when doing this. The reason is because a lot of times you got to push into a carved out area, and these long brushes make it so it can get in there really easy. That's what these things are made to do. So it makes it a lot easier whenever you're making stuff like this. Ooh, my camera's going crazy. Anyway, so we're going to let this dry. Then I'll kind of show you how I pull up the Oramask. There's a way to kind of make it a little easier, and so that it all stays in one piece so you're not pulling off little chunks of Oramask, which can be annoying. But anyway, I'm going to let this dry for about an hour, and then we'll be back. Alright, so we got everything painted in. One thing that in the voiceover I didn't mention, these little stencil brushes are key to when doing this. The reason is because a lot of times you got to push into a carved out area, and these long brushes make it so it can get in there really easy. That's what these things are made to do. So it makes it a lot easier whenever you're making stuff like this. Ooh, my camera's going crazy. Anyway, so we're going to let this dry. Then I'll kind of show you how I pull up the Oramask. There's a way to kind of make it a little easier, and so that it all stays in one piece so you're not pulling off little chunks of Oramask, which can be annoying. But anyway, I'm going to let this dry for about an hour, and then we'll be back. Another wonderful voiceover coming your way because my CNC machine is constantly going, and I don't want you guys to have to listen to that and try to listen to me over that. But anyway, everything's nice and dry, so what we're going to do now is you can kind of peel that up. It'll peel up a little bit, but what I try to do is try to get it to pull up all at once, and it did not do it this time, even with the heat gun. The heat gun normally helps, but this time it didn't. So just going to kind of tell you that now. Anyways, but what I normally do, and it's worked on my signs before, but for some reason this one, and I think it's because there's so many carves in it, the heat gun just wouldn't help it no matter what. So kind of run the heat gun over, and what in my mind this does is it kind of heats up that the sticky whatever is on the back of it that sticks to it a little bit, and kind of lets go of the wood, so when you pull it up, it comes off easier and less risk of pulling up the stain with it, which I haven't, ever since I've done this method, I haven't pulled up. I've even had parts of the wood pull up with Oramask because it stuck to the wood so good. But since I've been using premium pine and using the heat gun, I haven't had that issue at all. So I'm not going to make you watch all of this because, like I said, it did not come up cleanly, and so I'm not going to have you sit here and watch me try to pick all this. I have a quick video of me doing, like, weeding the rest of it out, but I'm going to end it here. Alright, so here's the finished product. Nice crisp lines and no bleeding. That's the big thing with that. Customer also ordered just a regular plain carved one, so you can kind of look at it and see the difference between the painted one and the natural carved color. I got to make a true red, white, and blue flag. I haven't done it yet, but doing this has kind of made me want to do one of the traditional flags, because normally my white is just the natural wood color, but this has kind of made me want to try maybe a true red, white, and blue blue flag. But anyway, so yeah, the Oramask, man, it's great. It really helped. As you can see, everything's really crisp and clean. I did have a little bit of trouble getting the Oramask up. Sometimes that happens, and let me know in the comments. Maybe the heat gun isn't the way to go. I know it's helped me with my signs, because there's been times where I pulled the Oramask up and it's pulled up some of the wood because it was clinging to the wood so much. And that was before I was really using the premium pine as well, so that could have been it. But if there's a better way to get the Oramask to release, let me know. The heat guns worked for me, but I'm always hoping to learn some new things and hopefully make some better stuff in the future. But as you can see, I mean, the stars, nice, clean, crisp. See all that right there? The lettering, everything looks really good. Just makes it so much cleaner and a lot easier. I mean, it took me maybe 15 minutes, 20 at most, to paint it. But if I was trying to just paint freehand inside the carved areas, it would have took me hours, and my hands shake too much to be able to do that. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to my channel. Trying to get my subscriber numbers up to do some things with some companies in the future. Also hit that notification bell, so anytime I make a video, you'll get a notification in YouTube. And anyway, get out there and make some sawdust. Hope this video helps you guys. Let me know if you got any questions or some future videos. This video is actually I did this video because I got a lot of questions of the Oramask and was asked to make some videos on it. So hopefully this helps you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good week.